live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Back on a Monday edition here of 2 News Live. Thank you for joining us. It is November 20th. Great to be with you. We have a lot to get to in the matter of a short amount of time here. A couple things to talk about. The discussion of closing schools in Salt Lake City, the district announcing what they'll do in about 30 minutes. Also, the future presidential debate that was announced today to be held in the state of Utah. Before we get there, though, let's take a look at some headlines. You can find all of this on our website right now, KUTV.com. We are learning more about a deadly shooting in Utah County. Springville police say Michael Mayer was shot and killed at an apartment near 2nd South, 1st West. This happened over the weekend. He passed away at the hospital. Police say they've arrested 3 people for their involvement in this. The U.S. government offering more COVID-19 tests, they say for free. You can order up to 8 of them right now online at covidtests.gov. The tests will start to ship next week. Also in your headlines tonight, the Salt Lake City Mission hosted their annual Thanksgiving food box giveaway today to help families in need. Each box not only provides food for your pantry, but also includes all the items to prepare a Thanksgiving meal at home. Now, finally, Salt Lake International Airport says it is prepared for busy Thanksgiving travel. Surprise. Airport leaders say tomorrow, Wednesday, and Friday projected to be the busiest days. They advise you to do what you should be doing for domestic flights, arriving 2 hours early, 3 hours for international. Not much changing here other than you might see more people at the airport. As we go in depth tonight, you can always get in touch with us during the show. Use the hashtag 2NewsLive to join our conversation. But most importantly, you can weigh in on the socials if you'd like. Facebook, X, Instagram, send a DM, any of those platforms to weigh in. We'd love to hear from you. Utah preparing to host one of the 2024 presidential debates. The third and final debate will take place at the University of Utah next October, but there are questions about who will be on that stage. Daniel Woodruff been covering this for us today, joining us live now. Daniel, what have you found out about what's taking place here next year?
Yeah, it's going to take place October 9th, 2024. It's the third and final presidential debate of the general election cycle. So we will see the major party candidates, at least in theory. We'll get to that in a sec. And then also any third party candidates that qualify. And that will take place at Kingsbury Hall at the University of Utah. The question right now is that neither major political party has agreed to attend the debates. And Republicans have said some things about wanting to change rules to disallow candidates from even taking part in that over their criticisms about moderators and such. So we'll see what happens. But today, Governor Cox said he hoped that all the candidates who are running would show up and who qualify for the debate would take part in it here in Utah. So we'll have to see what happens over the next little while. And obviously, it is very early to say who exactly will be on stage, because the nominating contest for the Republicans is underway right now. Voting will take place starting in a few weeks. And then the Democratic side, of course, President Biden presumed to be the nominee for the Democrats. And then any third-party candidates, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running for that. So we'll see who actually ends up on the debate stage. But that third and final debate is set to take place here, Brian, in Salt Lake City.
Hi, Daniel, obviously that's very exciting too. The political spectrum here in Utah, very rich. I know that you mentioned Governor Spencer Cox there today. We could see in some of the video from today's event, there were other local folks here, representing Salt Lake City, Mayor Aaron Mendenhall. I saw Stuart Adams was there too. What was the general feeling about this? Is this an honor? Is this something that has been a long time in the making? How are they generally feeling about hosting this debate?
Well, we did host the 2020 vice presidential debate, and everybody thought that went well. And this was apparently a 6-month application process for the University of Utah to apply with the Commission on Presidential Debates, to then find out today that they were going to go ahead and be one of the cities that was going to host. And I guess I don't know if they found out today or just recently, but they announced it today, certainly. So this was about a 6-month process, and the leaders that were at the news conference today talking about it said they all agreed this was a time for the state of Utah to shine. They brought up the state hosting the Olympics in the past and trying to host the Olympics again in the future. And then this now and the All-Star game and other things. They said that Utah feels like it's really hosting a lot of major events and really punching above its weight. and they said that they feel like this will be a good opportunity for people to come to Utah and see the debate, to watch it on TV, as well as for the students at the University of Utah to take part in a really big, eye-opening civic engagement lesson right on their own campus.
All eyes on October 9th, 2024, where the University of Utah will host the third and final presidential debate. Daniel Woodruff here on 2 News and on 2 News Live. Thank you, Daniel. We first told you about the debate at the U through a breaking push alert. You can get it at the palm of your hand. Very easy to do. All you have to do is download the 2 News mobile app, and you can get all sorts of updates such as these. Download the 2 News mobile app today so you can get all these push alerts. Right now, parents are waiting to learn if their child's school will close or if it will stay open. This meeting that'll take place here just about 25 minutes from now will basically outline the fate of 7 elementary schools here in Utah, a unique problem that happens here in the state of Utah that's very different than other states. Amanda Gilbert has looked into what's behind the decision. She joins us live now. Amanda, what did you learn today about some of the schools in question here?
Yeah, Brian, I am sitting outside of Glendale Middle School getting ready to head in there. This is where the board meeting is tonight. And tonight is really important because we're going to hear the district's recommendation for boundary changes and for school closures. So basically, the district told us that that school enrollment has been declining over the past decade, about 30%. For example, they've got about 15,000 spots in their elementary schools, and only about 9,000 or so are filling those spots. So that's about a third sitting empty. So tonight, the district's going to lay out their recommendations, which schools to close. They've been closely looking at 7 to possibly close. So tonight they're kind of going to update their recommendations to the board. Nothing is going to be finalized tonight. Again, it's just recommendation. And then on December 5th, there's going to be a public hearing where anyone can comment their thoughts based off of the recommendations tonight. And then next year is when we should be getting a vote on exactly what schools in Salt Lake City, again, elementary schools, will be closing for the 2024-2025 year. So stick with us for tonight at 10. Also on Layer and online, as soon as we get those recommendations from the district tonight, we're going to be posting them and talking about them. But we do have to wait for that. Back to you, Brian.
Amanda, thank you. Before you go, have you been hearing any mixed reaction from folks about this? I'd imagine this is split between parents and obviously district personnel.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotion. I was at the last board meeting a few weeks ago, and you had parents from a few different schools saying, my kid goes here and loves the school. You had parents talking about the schools they went to when they were students and how important they were to them. So it's a lot. It would be a lot of change for a lot of families. So I'm guessing they moved the board meeting to this middle school tonight because they're expecting more people to attend. But we'll see. We're about to go in there and see who's there.
Amanda Gilbert on this one for us here tonight on 2 News Live. Amanda, thank you. In about 22 minutes, that meeting will get underway. And of course, this has been a story that we've been following for months. As you just heard from Amanda herself, she did go to a prior board meeting where parents obviously very vocal about their opposition to this. We've heard from some earlier on 2 News at 4, 2 News at 5 o'clock. But you can find all of our prior coverage on the potential closures right now in the Salt Lake City School District on our website, KUTV.com. And a reminder, if you have a story that you think our crisis in the classroom team needs to be aware of, education-based, of course, you can call the number on your screen. Easiest way to do so is send an email, though, investigates@KUTV.com. Tomorrow, Election Day here in Utah, a little bit later than most states this year to coincide with the special election for Congressional District 2. One race we'll be following closely, Salt Lake City's mayoral election. Incumbent Aaron Mendenhall running against Rocky Anderson, who already held the office in the early 2000s. A third candidate, Michael Valentine, also hoping to lead the city. This election will use ranked choice voting. Valentine still may end up playing a pivotal role depending on who his voters rank as their second choice if they choose to do that. And covering Weber County tonight, another race we're following closely is the race for Ogden's next mayor. Taylor Newth and Ben Nedlowski, both hoping to run the Weber County city after tomorrow's election. Both are Weber State grads. They both say they're available for Affordable housing for Ogden residents, that's what they're saying is vital to growth and opportunity. Some key points there in discussion. Reminder that polls close at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Do yourself a favor, go there to the drop box location nearest you tonight and drop it off. We're also following the highly publicized Congressional District 2 race. Celeste Malloy, Kathleen Reby are on the ballot in this special election. The candidates vying to replace former CD2 Congressman Chris Stewart. Malloy is an attorney, previously served as Stewart's chief legal counsel in Congress. Reby is in her second term as a Utah State Senator. She previously served on the state school board. So, reminder, ballot time is now. Utah moved its general election to November 21st to coincide with the District 2 special election. Mail-in ballots must be postmarked by today. You should use those drop boxes, though, now until tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Don't wait. Need your voice heard, especially for those local races. Let's talk about the forecast here and what we had over the course of the last 24-48. Some impressive totals at our resorts.
Yeah, not bad. Alta, Snowbird, almost 1.5 feet of snow. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Not as much across Big Cottonwood Canyon, the Park City resorts, but what I love to see is Eagle Point and Bryan Head in central and southern Utah.
Yeah, it's nice
almost
to get,
1 foot of snow.
Getting in the mix here. Obviously, our friends most northern Utah didn't get as much here, but I'm always curious about, will this be another year where we're padding the snow totals? I'm watching you out there. You know who you are.
These are not padded.
I know. These are good.
We did our research on some of these, so this is exactly what I think some of those resorts got. So
sure.
Good news. The good news is that another storm is on the forecast, and it looks stronger now, but it might impact maybe some of those holiday travel plans.
Okay.
So let's get right to it. Here's what you need to know. Those temperatures have dropped because of our storm system. That storm is now quickly racing to the east, but we're still kind of on the backside of the low. So those winds have been out of the north, at least aloft, and it's keeping those temperatures below average by just a couple degrees. But most of the rain and snow out in Colorado at the moment, but also some severe weather ahead of the storm system impacting Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky. So a big storm out there. High pressure, it's going to slide in for the next couple days. So our weather's going to be pretty decent. Now, we might start to see a little bit of valley haze. It's that time of year, tomorrow and on Wednesday, but it shouldn't get too bad. And the good news, a storm system will be moving in towards the end of the week, and that will blow out any haze that does develop. Well, we'll see how this kind of ends up. But right now, it looks like we might get a little bit of rain and snow, especially in northern and central Utah, Thanksgiving night. Now, for tonight, it's going to be dry. Temperatures dropping below freezing. It will be cold, upper 20s and low 30s for the Wasatch Front. Teens and 20s for central Utah as well, and St. George close to freezing at 33 degrees. But by the afternoon, a really nice day in St. George. We'll be seeing highs right around 60 degrees, give or take a degree or two. But it's still kind of chilly in northern Utah. We'll be in the mid 40s for most of us, 43 in Park City, but still in the 30s up in Evanston. Let's talk about that holiday travel forecast, because that's what everyone wants to know. There's a lot of activity going on out in the Pacific. It's going to take some time to get here, but we're going to be dry tomorrow. Great travel day, sunny skies. Wednesday is the busiest travel day, and I think even if you're flying to the Pacific Northwest, there might be a couple of hit or miss showers, but nothing too significant. You'll see that it intensifies as it gets closer to Utah by Thanksgiving. Now, right now, and this is still a little bit up in the air on the exact timing, looks like it could arrive sometime Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening. So the first half of the day might be okay for some of those football games that you might be doing before dinner. Now, by dinner time, though, we could see that rain fill in, especially for northern Utah, mountain snow. And if that cold air meets up, we could have a little bit of mountain snow changing to valley snow by Thursday night or Friday morning. We're going to be working out those details as we get closer to Black Friday, but there might be a little bit of snow, even on the valley floor. Doesn't look like a huge storm, but we'll take it. Now, for Saturday, right now, it looks like the storm could be lingering, maybe a couple snow showers coming off the lake, but for the Colorado-Utah football game, I'm leaving the forecast dry for now, partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the mid-30s, so it does look chilly, so bundle up for that one. St. George, though, temperatures pleasant, upper 50s and low 60s for the next few days. It does get a bit colder as we head into the weekend with highs near 50, but right now I'm leaving the forecast dry, but there might be a few showers just to your north Thursday night and into Friday. Overnight lows are staying cold in the 30s and 20s. Now, Salt Lake, 46 tomorrow, close to 50 on Wednesday. A little bit of haze, 45 on Thursday with clouds increasing, showers later in the day, but that rain could change to snow again by Friday, and it gets kind of cold, upper 30s for highs. We haven't seen that Friday and Saturday, but the weekend, dry. So maybe you're driving home from grandma's on Sunday, you should be fine on those roads. But right now, maybe some tricky spots Thursday night, Friday morning for those on those roads then.
Let's go back to this weekend. Did you have a good time at the game there in Provo?
I did.
Yeah.
I did lose my voice
I can
a little
tell.
bit. That game was a little
I'm
bit
just
closer.
addressing it
Yes.
because, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a great time.
You know, I will say, you know, I grew up in Utah, but I've never been to a BYU football game before, so this is my first time.
Nice.
And they do it well down there in Provo. We
Yeah.
had a great time. The fans were fantastic. We had a little bit of light rain, but overall, it was great. OU won, and the BYU fans were really nice.
Yeah, well, as you'd expect, they do it right in Provo, that's for sure. We were out there for their Big 12 opener,
Right.
and it was an awesome time, great experience. I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it as well. And, you know, should be some traditional fall football weather here as we make our
Yeah.
way into the weekend.
Utah, Colorado, huge game.
It is.
It'll just be cold.
Yeah, there's
That's
that
okay.
there's that certain coach that'll be in town.
Yes.
Yeah, we may have heard of him before.
Coach
It's been
Prime.
a little bit of media coverage
Yeah, but
on that coach.
He's lost maybe 5 out of the last 6 games.
Yeah, they're not as hot as they were out of the gates, but that's just how it works. Thanks for watching 2 News Live. We're going to get this guy some hot tea and honey so he can make it to our Tuesday edition of 2 News Live. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining us today. We are back tomorrow here at KUTV 2 News for another edition of 2 News Live. Join us tonight, Arc Salt Lake, 7 o'clock. Had to just throw that out there. See ya.